It's okay to not be okay. I know that this world really pushes us to just work until we die. And I've realized that there's just so many other things in this world to do than just working and working and working. And a lot of people say, find your religious path, find your spiritual connection. I say, yeah, go for that. Look into those aspects of your life and learn about yourself deeper. When you find like a spiritual connection to something, um, it really does deepen your life to a whole other level. You begin to have more connection to the spiritual aspect of this world. And things get really interesting. But I want you to know that, yeah, even when you do that, it does get tiring and it does get exhausting. Even if you choose something you think, sounds good and it sounds like it's not that much of a hassle. The truth is, no one really tells you like the full aspect of like the spiritual path that you'll take. For example, if you choose Christianity, no one really explains to you that, yeah, when you choose to follow Jesus, you're also following him in the journey of not being afraid when facing demons. And it can take a toll on your body and your mind and your soul. It is rewarding, but it's very exhausting to not have a break. And I thought when people say that he's the Prince of Peace, then why isn't the journey peaceful? It's kind of counterintuitive. But it's a path that you chose. And because this world is supposedly, according to the Bible, he's the prince of the air and he's the ruler of earth. That's probably why it's not peaceful, because we're still on this planet. And so I wish people would give a realistic guide of what it means to be a Christian. And the realistic side of it is that you are working 24/7. Even when you're a Christian and then you're working a normal job and you're working, doing other stuff in life. The plus side is that you have a deeper spiritual connection. You'll know that you are following Jesus and that you'll be with him in eternity. But let's say you choose Buddhism. If you choose Buddhism, then, there's meditating every day. There's learning how to be disciplined and compassionate and having, peace even when the world around you isn't peaceful. And the thing that's like hard for me when it comes to all these religions is that none of these teach me how to deal with the pain. I know as people have like this kind of toxic positivity in these religions that they follow, these paths that they follow, these ways of life, whatever you want to call it. And it gets very exhausting, but it's rewarding in the end. And the truth of the matter is that these things are really exhausting. Like, no one tells you like how much work you have to put into these things. And as people say, this life really isn't for the weak. You know, this life isn't unicorns and rainbows, and you have to put in a lot more than you even think you need to put in to different things. You know, no one tells you how much work having kids will be. No one tells you how much work having a house will be. No one tells you how much money and time and effort it takes to upkeep all these different responsibilities you have. And as I got older, I started realizing like how much of a trick it is having all these things, like in the sense there's other ways to live, you know, there's other ways to be and there's other ways to exist. And I realized like none of these pathways really alleviate or make me feel fulfilled inside realistically. You know, like I tried going like deeply into the Bible as much as possible. I tried going into Buddhism, and it's like, I know people will be like, are you atheist? Are you agnostic? It's not really that either. It's like, I know there's God. That's all I know. Like, I know there is a father. I know there's a God. You know, like, I'm not atheist. I'm not agnostic. You know, I'm not even like monotheistic because I know there's like angels and demons. You know? And then it's like, I know there's a Jesus. But the thing, it's like, I, like I've personally experienced things that, that blow my mind. But I also know like other things are real. Like I know manifesting's real. I know energies are real. I know the spiritual realm is real. It's like, and it's like, the thing is that everyone is divided and there's different descriptions for everything. And then so many divisions, like if you don't say things in a certain way, and if you don't follow things in a certain way, and people who are in the religions will get cliquish and technically will bully you out the religion. It's like, it's really like weird because it's like, I kind of feel like people are very one-sided, very limited, and very like in a, a bubble, and like they can't think outside that bubble and understand there's more than one way to say things, there's more than one way to experience life, there's more than one way to understand something. And the thing is like to have compassion for all of it. And I know that people will be like, if you're a Christian, they'll be like, well, you get so deep into it, it's like there's only one way, and one way is Jesus. It's like, I prayed for certain things. I prayed for Jesus to help me see the world as he sees it. I prayed for all these different things, and it's like I realized like he has compassion and love for everyone, and there's more than one way to say things. Like God doesn't say if you say things the wrong way, you're going to hell. Like he doesn't say you have to exactly, it's like he says don't take away from the Bible and don't add to the Bible. It's like, I'm not the Bible. Read the Bible, but also at the same time, it's like you have to ask Jesus for guidance. You have to ask him to connect you to the Father. You have to rely on the Holy Spirit. And, and it's like a really like, understanding the Bible shouldn't be that hard, but it's probably, as people would say, it's Satan making it hard and your brain's confused or whatever, but it's like, it really shouldn't be that hard to understand, everything points back to Jesus. It's as simple as that. Because, like, I realize, like, when you look at life and, like, how much struggle we go through, how much work we put in, it does go back to Jesus and how he died on the cross. Like, if Jesus had to go through that amount of suffering in order to save us, what portion of that is your life? Of how much you have to go through, And so it makes sense, the stuff that we go through, because of the sins that we do. Because our life is a part of his suffering. Each life is a part of his suffering. And knowing that the suffering that we go through and, like, how he died, we're a portion of the pain he went through, of, like, how he died. And so we're only experiencing, like, a portion of his pain. And so the life you live, even if you feel like it's purposeless, it does have a purpose. It's basically experiencing a portion of the suffering that Jesus went through. And being grateful you don't have to experience the full thing. And knowing that you're not going to be perfect, You're going to have to hate your sin. You're going to have to turn away from things. It's not going to be perfect all the time. Sometimes God will even test you to see how strong your faith is. And that's okay. There's going to be trials, there's going to be tribulations, there's going to be struggles, there's going to be pain. And getting through it is what matters. And there's different ways to live life. There's not one way to live life. And people want to assume, someone's religion, someone's this, someone's that, but, like, their journey, if they choose Jesus, is their personal one. Everyone's journey on this planet is a personal one with Jesus, if you really think about it. Because someone could be Buddhist their whole life, and in the last 10 years they can become a Christian, you don't know. And I choose to say follower of Christ over Christian anyways. But it's really, like, as long as someone gets it and understands that basic principle and really, like, feeling the pain, because, like, seeing the world as Jesus sees it, it's like you feel the pain of this world. You really do. It's like how shallow these things are. In the sense of, like, none of the stuff really, like, matters in the end. Yeah, it's nice to have the comfort of a big screen TV. It's nice to have the comfort of a nicer car. It's nice to be able to spend time, just vibing. It's nice to be able to afford, all the skincare or all the makeup or all the motorcycles or all the fishing equipment or golfing equipment or all the books that you want. But in the end, it's like when you sit down and you're around those things for enough, you start realizing it's the same thing over and over again. You're just trying to fulfill fill a hole to feeling purpose. You know, trying to escape, or, you know, and, you know, might actually really enjoy those things, but at some point it does become boring. And that's why I'm here, because I just want to create something that's of value and just leave it for the world. Yeah. Because I am dealing with pre-cancer right now. I'm just hoping I get healed. So just trying to share what I know before, if I do pass on sometime soon or not. But dealing with pre-cancer, I'm kind of a ways away, but also close. So thank you for listening. Bye.